All right, you freaking weirdos, strap in. We're going deep into the world of David Bowie today.
Diving into a whole mess of sources.
Bios, encyclopedias, even a full-blown documentary.
Trying to capture this chameleon.
Because this guy, he wasn't just a musician. He painted, acted.
And morphed his image more times than a goddamn snake sheds skin.
Exactly. To think, this spaceman started as plain old
David Robert Jones.
David Robert Jones, born in post-war London.
1947.
Talk about a glow-up. From bombed-out Britain to global freaking icon.
Those post-war years, they definitely shaped him.
Imagine London.
All rubble and ration books.
Yeah.
That kind of chaos breeds a hunger for something more, something to break free from.
Like they say, pressure makes diamonds. Or, in this case, a glitter-covered alien rock star.
Exactly.
Speaking of messed up, let's not forget his half-brother, Terry.
Right.
Introduced Bowie to rock and roll and all that beatnik crap.
Yeah.
But also battled some serious demons.
Terry's story is crucial.
Oh, absolutely.
His struggles and eventual suicide in '85 deeply impacted Bowie.
Oh, for sure.
Both creatively and personally.
Yeah.
It even inspired the song Jump, they say, showing the dark side behind the glitter and platform boots.
Heavy shit, man.
Yeah.
But it shows how this guy turned pain into art.
Absolutely.
Even as a kid, he was drawn to music like a moth to a flame.
Right.
Elvis, Little Richard, Skiffle, you name it.
Yeah.
He sucked it up.
He was exposed to so much.
They said his dance moves were
Vividly artistic.
mesmerizing.
Yeah.
Hell, even in the damn Cub Scouts.
Oh, wow.
His stage presence was like,
Someone from another planet.
yeah,
That's awesome.
the artistic spark was there early on.
It's fascinating that he attended Bromley Technical High School,
Really?
where they emphasized layout and typesetting along with the arts. It's almost like he was subconsciously gearing up for a career that would fuse those elements together.
Right. And let's not forget the infamous eye incident.
Oh, yeah.
The thing that gave him that permanently dilated pupil, a brawl over some chick, and boom. He ends up with this iconic stare.
Wow.
Talk about a look that launched 1,000 albums.
That unique gaze became part of his mystique,
It did.
adding to that otherworldly, almost alien aura.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk music.
Okay.
Bowie's early career was a goddamn obstacle course.
It was.
He hopped between bands like a flea on a dog.
So many musical phases early on, blues, mod, folk rock.
Yeah.
It's like he was test driving different identities, searching for the perfect fit.
Then, bam, Space Oddity drops in '69.
Oh, yeah.
Perfectly timed with the moon landing.
Wow.
Talk about cosmic coincidence. That song shot him into orbit.
Space Oddity captured the zeitgeist perfectly. The wonder, the fear, all wrapped up in this trippy, otherworldly sound.
For sure.
Bowie had this knack for tapping into the collective consciousness, and it made him a star.
But even with a hit, Bowie wasn't settling for one-hit wonder status.
No.
He was constantly evolving, like some musical shark that had to keep moving or die.
That's the thing about Bowie. He never stayed comfortable.
Right.
He knew stagnation meant death for an artist.
Oh, yeah.
So he moved, shifted, changed,
Yeah.
always keeping people guessing.
And thank God he did. Cue the '70s, the era of platform shoes, glitter, and androgynous glam rock.
It was an amazing time.
Bowie wasn't just making music, he was creating entire goddamn universes with each album.
This is where his theatrical background shines.
Yeah.
He inhabited his stage characters fully, blurring the lines between performance and reality.
Right.
He messed with gender norms, toyed with expectations. It was electrifying and, for many, totally bewildering.
Oh yeah, this is where things get juicy.
Okay.
Let's talk Ziggy Stardust, the flame-haired alien rock star that blasted Bowie into the stratosphere.
Ziggy was a phenomenon.
I know.
He didn't just write songs, he built an entire narrative, a mythology around this character costumes, makeup, a stage show that was pure spectacle.
Yeah.
He landed on Earth like a glorious freak, and we all lapped it up.
And the fans, man, they were rabid.
They were...
Funny thing, though,
What's that?
Bowie was changing so damn fast.
Yeah.
Some fans would show up to gigs dressed like his old personas,
Oh, wow.
looking totally outdated. Imagine that, showing up to a Bowie show dressed like a relic from his past.
That's hilarious and so perfectly Bowie. It proves he was always ahead of the curve.
I know, right?
Zigging when everyone else zagged.
Yeah.
Even his own band was shocked when he retired Ziggy in '73.
Real.
It left everyone wondering, what the hell is he going to do next?
Well, next was America, baby. He traded London for L.A.
Wow.
and dove headfirst into soul and funk, pumping out albums like Young Americans. Another drastic shift, but the bastard pulled it off.
Risk and experimentation were his fuel. He called this new sound Plastic Soul, pissing off some old fans but gaining new ones.
Right.
It proved he wasn't just a one-trick pony.
He wasn't.
He had range, depth, and a goddamn sonic arsenal.
But hold on, we got to talk about Berlin.
Okay.
Bowie ditches the L.A. scene and lands smack dab in the middle of the Cold War.
What a move. Berlin was pivotal.
Yeah.
Bowie was fighting his own demons then, but the city's raw energy,
Oh, yeah.
especially its underground music scene,
Yeah.
it lit a fire under his creative ass.
He teams up with Brian Eno, and they crank out the Berlin trilogy. Low, Heroes, and Lodger. Get this, they weren't instant hits.
It's mind-blowing.
Imagine that, the music world not recognizing genius right away.
He was pushing boundaries again.
Oh, for sure.
Creating music that was atmospheric, experimental, raw.
Yeah.
Those albums were ahead of their time, and it took the world a while to catch up.
Like I said, always one step ahead, paving the way for new sounds.
Absolutely.
But hey, let's not forget, this guy wasn't just a musician.
Oh, no.
He was a full-blown Renaissance man, acting on Broadway, starring in movies like The Man Who Fell to Earth and Labyrinth.
Don't forget the painting. He actually sold a painting for $500 before the music took off.
Get out.
It's like he was overflowing with creative juice, and it had to come out somewhere.
It did.
In music, in film, on canvas, everywhere.
The guy was a walking, talking art factory.
He was.
And a damn good art collector, too.
Oh, yeah.
His collection was valued at over 10 million quid.
His collection showcased his eclectic tastes and his deep love for all forms of creativity.
Yeah.
He wasn't just a passive observer, he was an active player in the art world.
All right, time for a peek behind the curtain.
Okay.
Let's talk about his personal life.
Right?
2 marriages.
Hmm.
First to Angie, then Iman,
Okay.
and a couple of kids.
Right.
His relationships were like fuel for his creative fire.
Absolutely.
His marriage to Angie was wild,
Yeah.
fueled by open relationships and Bowie's own struggles. But it was creatively explosive.
It was.
Angie was key in shaping his image and sound during those years.
Yeah.
Chaos breeding masterpieces.
Yeah.
Classic rock and roll story, right?
Right. And then Ivan came along.
Yeah.
She seemed to bring stability and a sense of peace to his life.
She did.
They were together for over 20 years and seemed genuinely happy.
So we've covered a lot.
A lot.
From London to global stardom.
To all the different phases.
His music,
Yeah,
his acting,
Yeah.
even his messy love life.
Absolutely.
This guy was always changing, never standing still for too long.
And that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
He was this constant whirlwind of creativity. Always pushing, exploring, challenging.
He was.
But it made him so damn captivating.
Speaking of captivating, stay tuned.
Okay.
We'll get even deeper into the bizarre world of Bowie.
All right.
We'll be back.
Sounds good. You know, for all his glitter and glam, Bowie was plugged into some serious shit going on in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, this was the Cold War?
Right.
The world was a powder keg. And Bowie lands in Berlin.
Oh, yeah.
A city split right down the middle by ideology that wasn't just a random vacation choice.
The Berlin Trilogy albums.
Yeah.
They practically reek of Cold War tension.
They do.
It's like you can hear the wall echoing in those tracks.
Exactly. And then there's Heroes. Inspired by a couple, Bowie saw making out near the damn wall.
Get out.
Talk about a middle finger to division. It became this anthem of hope.
Wow.
This yearning for connection in a world that was tearing itself apart.
Damn, who knew a little PDA could start a song that powerful?
That's Bowie for you, man.
Yeah.
He could take something simple, something human, and turn it into a goddamn masterpiece.
That's true.
He understood how to tap into those universal feelings.
Yeah.
Even when tackling big, complex themes.
All right, so we've covered the music, the art, the acting. But how the hell did this guy stay relevant for so long?
Right?
Most artists, they have their moment in the sun, then fade away.
Yeah.
Bowie was like a goddamn cockroach.
Like a cockroach.
Surviving everything, always coming back for more.
It's because he never stopped experimenting.
Really?
He was a creative junkie, always chasing new sounds, new tech, new ways to express himself.
Yeah.
But it was also his willingness to shed his skin, to evolve, to refuse to be pigeonholed.
He just kept...
He knew that the moment you think you've got it all figured out, you're dead in the water.
He was a master of reinvention.
He was.
Just when you thought you had him pinned down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd morph into something else entirely.
Exactly. It kept people guessing.
It did.
Kept them hooked.
Yeah.
Bowie was like a cultural Nostradamus, anticipating trends before they even hit the mainstream.
And the music proves it.
It does.
From glam rock to soul to electronic people. He threw in punk, industrial, even world music.
Wow.
It's like he raided the sonic pantry and whipped up a goddamn feast.
He was a musical magpie, snatching shiny bits from every genre and weaving them into this unique tapestry.
He did.
And he did it with swagger, with style, with a sense of playfulness that was damn infectious.
And speaking of playfulness,
yeah,
we can't forget how Bowie embraced technology.
Oh, yeah?
He was one of the first musicians to truly get the internet,
I know, right?
using it to connect with fans in a way that was revolutionary at the time.
Totally. Remember BowieNet?
Oh, yeah.
His own internet service provider launched back in '98.
Crazy.
Way before most artists even had a website. Bowie was building his own digital empire.
He was.
He saw the internet as a new playground for artistic expression
Yeah.
and fan connection.
The guy was practically a prophet, predicting how music would be consumed in the future.
He was ahead of his time.
Today, every artist is hustling online, promoting their music, connecting with fans.
Yeah.
Bowie was ahead of the damn curve.
Always pushing boundaries.
He was.
Not just in the music itself,
Yeah.
but in how he used technology to amplify his art and reach a wider audience.
Uh-huh.
The man was a pioneer, plain and simple.
And let's not forget the fashion.
Oh, the fashion.
For sakes. Bowie was a style icon, a trendsetter.
Who was?
From Ziggy's flamboyant get-ups to the sharp tailoring of the thin white Duke.
Right.
He played with gender. He toyed with expectations. His clothes were like another instrument.
His fashion was an extension of his music and personas.
Oh, for sure.
He understood the power of image, of creating these visually arresting characters that would burn themselves into your brain.
It wasn't just the clothes themselves.
Yeah.
It was the attitude, the swagger, the way he owned every damn look.
Yeah.
He made you want to be bolder, to take risks, to say, screw it to the norm.
Exactly. He showed us that fashion isn't about following trends.
It's not.
It's about self-expression.
Yeah.
About using clothes to tell your own damn story.
Uh-huh.
And that message resonates even more today.
It does.
When individuality is supposedly celebrated.
Right.
But everyone's still trying to fit in.
So we've established Bowie was a multi-talented son of a bitch.
He was.
Who could sing, paint, and strut his stuff on stage.
Yeah.
But what about the acting?
Okay.
Did he have any chops on the big screen?
Well, he made some interesting choices.
He did.
That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Often playing characters that were just as unconventional as his music.
Like The Man Who Fell to Earth?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect casting, right?
Couldn't have been more perfect.
Bowie, as an alien, searching for water to save his dying planet.
He brought that otherworldly quality to the role.
Right.
This mix of captivating and unsettling.
Uh-huh.
He captured the alien's loneliness.
Yeah.
His confusion.
Yeah.
His desire for connection in this strange new world. It's a haunting performance, man. It sticks with you.
And Labyrinth?
Oh, yeah.
You can't talk about Bowie's acting without mentioning the Goblin King.
The Goblin King.
Sure, the movie's cheesy as hell.
It is.
But it's a cult classic.
It is.
And Bowie's performance is a big reason why.
He's deliciously evil in that role.
Yeah.
And the costumes? Pure Bowie extravagance.
Oh, yeah.
It goes full tilt camp, creating this larger-than-life villain
Right.
who's somehow both menacing and alluring.
Uh-huh.
It's everything you love about Bowie, over-the-top, androgynous, impossible to forget.
Don't forget his serious roles.
Oh, right?
Like the Elephant Man on Broadway.
Yeah.
Apparently he killed it.
He did.
Got rave reviews.
He was serious about acting. Approached it with the same intensity he brought to his music. He wasn't just cashing in on his fame.
No.
He wanted to deliver a transformative performance.
And then there are the smaller roles in films like Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence,
Yeah.
and The Last Temptation of Christ.
Yeah.
He seemed drawn to characters who were complex, conflicted outsiders.
He wasn't afraid to push boundaries with his acting choices, just like he did with his music.
Right.
He wasn't afraid to play characters who were far removed from his own persona. Another sign of his chameleon-like nature, always changing, always evolving.
So we've got Bowie the musician, the artist, the actor. But what about the man behind the mask?
Right.
He built this image of flamboyant androgyny.
He did.
But who was he really?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
He was notoriously private.
He was.
carefully crafting his public image.
Yeah.
It's hard to separate the man from the myth.
He had 2 high-profile marriages.
He did.
First to Angie Barnett, then to Iman.
Right.
Can we learn anything about the real Bowie from those relationships?
Well, the marriage to Angie was a roller coaster of open relationships.
Oh, well.
Bowie's battles with addiction.
Yeah.
But it was a damn fertile period creatively.
It was.
Angie played a big role in shaping his image and career during those years.
Another case of creative chaos, right? Fueling the fire of artistic brilliance.
You got it. And Angie definitely left her mark on Bowie,
She did.
both personally and professionally.
Yeah.
They were partners in crime,
Mm-hmm.
collaborators in creating this larger-than-life persona that took the world by storm.
Then there's Iman.
Yeah.
She seemed to bring some calm to the storm.
It's beautiful how Iman brought balance to his life.
She did.
She was his rock, his
Yeah.
confidant.
Yeah.
Their relationship seemed to give him the stability he needed to navigate the madness of fame and artistry.
And they had a daughter together,
Right.
Lexi.
Lexi.
Seems like fatherhood added another layer to Bowie. It softened him a bit, revealed a more human side.
Definitely.
It's clear Bowie loved being a dad.
He did.
He was fiercely protective of his kids.
Yeah.
And seemed to love sharing his passion for music and art with them.
He did.
Fatherhood seemed to bring him a sense of peace
Yeah.
that maybe he hadn't found before.
Right.
So maybe the public Bowie,
Yeah.
all flamboyant and outrageous,
Yeah.
wasn't the whole story.
It seems that there was a lot more going on beneath the surface.
Absolutely. He was a man of contradictions, a master of reinvention who was also deeply private, a global icon who craved normalcy, a rebel who yearned for connection.
Yeah.
It's those contradictions that make him so damn interesting, so endlessly fascinating.
Like peeling back the layers of an onion, right?
Yeah.
Every layer revealing something new, something unexpected.
Exactly. He was a mystery, an enigma,
He was.
and maybe that's how he wanted it to be.
Speaking of mysteries, Bowie's death in 2016 was a closely guarded secret,
Really?
battling cancer for 18 months, but kept it under wraps. Released his final album, Black Star, just 2 days before he checked out.
Oh, wow.
Classic Bowie, turning his death into a final act of artistic defiance.
He did.
Black Star is a hauntingly beautiful album,
It is.
full of symbolism and reflection on mortality.
Yeah.
A testament to his creativity, his unwavering spirit right to the very end.
Like, he knew it was his final curtain call.
Yeah.
And decided to direct the damn thing himself.
Exactly. He was in control, orchestrating his departure with the same meticulous attention he gave to his music.
Wow.
A fitting end for a true artist.
And his legacy, man, it just keeps growing.
It does.
His music, his influence, it reaches new people every day.
He was a visionary, breaking down genres, defying expectations, and leaving a mark so deep it'll never be erased.
It won't?
His influence is everywhere,
It is.
from musicians who worship him to designers ripping off his iconic looks.
He was one of a kind, a true original, an artist who changed the world with his music, his fashion, his art, his entire being.
His story shows us it's okay to be different, to embrace change, to never stop evolving.
Yeah.
Bowie taught us the greatest adventure is self-discovery.
Right.
And the most authentic expression comes from being true to yourself,
Wow.
no matter how weird or beautiful that may be.
All right, folks, that's part 2 of our deep dive into the wild world of David Bowie.
It is.
We dug into the music,
The art.
the acting,
Yeah.
even peeked behind the curtain of his personal life.
We did.
But there's always more to uncover,
Oh, yeah.
more layers to peel back in this onion.
Stay tuned for part 3,
Okay.
where we'll dig into some lesser-known stuff,
Oh, cool.
the hidden gems that reveal even more about this enigmatic bastard.
We'll be back to wrap things up and leave you with some final thoughts on what Bowie can teach us about creativity, courage, and being your damn self.
Absolutely.
No matter what the world throws at you. All right, you degenerates, we're back for the final round of our Bowie beatdown. We've talked about the music, the costumes, the damn near alien persona. But what about the man behind the glitter?
You know, for someone who seemed larger than life, Bowie could be surprisingly down to earth.
Seriously. I always pictured him floating around in some ivory tower, surrounded by cocaine and groupies.
He definitely cultivated that image.
Yeah.
But those who knew him describe him as kind,
Really?
witty, even normal at times. He loved to laugh,
Yeah.
genuinely cared about people, even those outside his inner circle.
So the Starman should come back down to earth now and then?
Exactly.
Color me surprised.
He could switch it on and off, be the untouchable icon one minute and a regular guy the next.
Yeah.
That's probably part of what made him so damn magnetic. He wasn't just this distant god.
Yeah.
He was someone you could picture having a beer with.
Yeah.
Maybe even cracking a dirty joke with.
Okay. Spill the tea. What kind of hidden gems reveal that more human side of Bowie?
Well, the dude was a bookworm.
A bookworm.
Had a massive library.
Where?
Read everything, philosophy, history, art, you name it. His lyrics are full of literary references.
Yeah.
That's no accident.
Right.
He was a goddamn sponge absorbing knowledge like it was oxygen.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
The guy wasn't just writing pop songs. He was crafting stories, weaving in layers of meaning, playing with language like a goddamn literary ninja.
He was also obsessed with mime.
Mime.
And avant-garde theater.
Really?
Probably where he picked up those dramatic stage moves and that knack for transforming himself into these crazy characters.
It's true.
He even studied with Lindsay Kemp,
Okay.
a famous mime artist.
Wow.
And that training definitely stuck with him.
Yeah, you can see it in his performances, the way he moved, the gestures, those facial expressions. It's like he was telling a story without saying a damn word.
Here's another curveball. He was a huge fan of Tibetan Buddhism.
What?
Even thought about becoming a monk at one point.
Wait, hold up. The Goblin King wanted to shave his head and chant on a mountaintop.
He considered it, man. Ultimately, he chose rock and roll over robes.
Of course he did.
But those spiritual explorations definitely seeped into his work.
I could see that.
You can see those themes of searching, of questioning, of trying to make sense of the universe running through his music.
So Bowie was more than just a pretty face in a stack of hit records.
He was.
He was a deep thinker, a seeker, constantly trying to figure shit out.
Exactly. He was always searching for meaning,
Yeah.
for inspiration, whether through music, art, books, or even freaking religion. He was never satisfied with easy answers, always digging deeper, always challenging himself and the world around him.
All right, one last thing. Bowie's impact on other artists.
Yeah.
This guy spawned legions of imitators, from the glam rockers to the weirdo indie kids.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted a piece of the Bowie magic.
His influence is massive, undeniable.
Yeah.
He gave people permission to be themselves, to be strange, to express their weirdness without shame.
Right.
He showed that music could be more than just catchy tunes. It could be a weapon, a statement, a way to challenge the status quo and blow people's minds.
He wasn't just a musician. He was a cultural earthquake, shaking things up, making people question everything they thought they knew about music fashion. Even gender.
He was an original, a one-of-a-kind freak who changed the game forever.
He did?
And even though he's gone,
Yeah.
his music, his spirit,
It lives on.
it's still alive, still pushing people to be bold,
Right.
to be creative, to be themselves.
Well, there you have it, folks. The grand finale of our David Bowie deep dive.
Yeah.
We've crawled through the glitter and the grime, dissected the music, the man, the myth.
We have.
We've laughed,
Okay.
we've learned, maybe even shed a tear or two for the Starman.
It's been a journey.
We've seen how he reinvented himself over and over,
Yeah.
how he pushed boundaries, challenged the norm,
Yeah,
and created a body of work that's both innovative and deeply personal.
it is.
He was a visionary, a provocateur, a goddamn alien who landed on Earth and left it a little bit weirder, a little bit wilder, and a whole lot more interesting.
He was one of a kind.
He was. And as we wrap this up,
Okay.
let's ponder that final question.
Right.
What if Bowie had never existed? Would the world be a little duller, a little more predictable?
It's possible.
Would we be missing that spark of genius, that fearless embrace of the strange and the beautiful?
I think so.
It's a question that'll keep you up at night, folks. So go out there, listen to his music, watch his films, dig into the man behind the makeup. And remember, the most important thing Bowie taught us is to be ourselves, to embrace the chaos, and to never, ever stop questioning the world around us.
Well said. And if you want more mind-blowing deep dives like this one, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share this episode with anyone who needs a little dose of Bowie in their life. We'll be back soon with another wild ride through the world of music art and everything in between.
Until then, stay curious, stay freaky, and never let the bastards grind you down.
Whisper.